Hi, guys. Welcome back to Real Talk with your host, Kristen Victorian. So, as per usual, we're going to go ahead and jump right into it. So, initially in 2025, we started off strong in a buyer's market. So, there was so much good news. Those prices were coming down, and I believe it was like the taxes that were going to be a point of concern. However, we are quickly swinging into a seller's market, guys. And what this means is where you may have been able to offer below the asking price. Now we want to meet them where they're at or above because we want to avoid bidding wars. We never want to be in a situation where we are fighting for this property, right? Because once we do that, then we lose so much power. Now, if that happens, not to worry. We just need to know how to navigate said association. Now, as I said before in a previous episode, we need to establish very early on in our relationship our floors and our ceilings. So, our floors is the absolute least that we're going to offer, our ceiling is the absolute most we're going to offer. We need to be a little bit flexible, especially in a seller's market, because what we have to see is their perspective. They have options. Now, even if at the moment, say the home has been listed for, let's say, maybe a little under a month, right? And you maybe feel like you are the second or third offer. Now, if this person has already gotten two offers before you, or maybe one offer before you, and they're already hitting that 30-day mark or about to, they're coming up on it, right? They are willing, because they understand that they're in a seller's market, they're willing to wait for the better offer. So go back to that offer. If they're asking for 300K and you said, you know what, I'm going to offer 250, more than likely they're going to say no, or they're going to say, okay, how about you offer somewhere 295, 297, right? If they don't shut you down altogether and they're willing to negotiate, they're still not going to do 250, especially in the seller's market. They will quickly, readily just wait for a more serious buyer. Unfortunately, again, that's why perspective matters so much, because you want to see it as an inspector. That way, not inspector, excuse me, investor, because the homeowner is an investor. They're looking for a ROI. They're looking for a return on their investment. So that's why they're not going to accept a BS offer, guys. They're just not. If the offer is too low, they cannot take it seriously and they cannot take you seriously. So that's why it's very important to know where your power lies and what all are the tools in your arsenal that are at your disposal. We can't reach, we have to be within the realm of reality. As long as we stay in the realm of reality, then we have some power. We can maintain our dignity, guys. But once we get to the point where we're stubborn, we're selfish, we don't want to consider a different perspective, we just want what we want, you have to understand that there's going to be a compromise somewhere, whether you like it or not. If we're not realistic in how we approach things, if we're not realistic in the way that we see things, then it's just not going to go the way that we would like it to. It can already be, a very excruciating process for many people, because it can be very long. It has so many boxes that needs to be checked, but we don't have to make it more difficult than it needs to be unnecessarily, guys. Now, when it comes to your criteria in your home search, it's important to know what your priorities are, right? So, for example, if you want $1 million baby, you have $1 million dreams, right? But your budget is not $1 million. We may possibly potentially be able to help you out, because at that point now we're looking for what I like to call a unicorn. So a unicorn is where the client has all of these different things that they need in a home, but they don't have the budget that matches what they want, right? So they have this extravagant idea of what they want and need in a new home. However, their budget does not add up to what they're asking for, and even that they want to negotiate. It's one of those situations where it's like, if we have options, they're going to be far and few, right? Now, realistically, how many unicorns are we going to find? Quickly, not that many. So that means that when your agent comes to you and says, hey, this is what we got, this is what we have on the table, these are your options, and this is the differences, and out of these, in my professional opinion, this is the one that is the closest match to the criteria that you provided me. This is going to give you the most bang for your buck, and crazy enough, it's in that price range, right? Now, you may see that and think, this is going to be just one of many options. This may give you the false hope of a plethora of options that fit this price range with this laundry list of expectations in a new home. No, when we're looking for a unicorn, we have to acknowledge, right, that this is going to be one of few that actually fall into this criteria. Now, if we say, for whatever reason, because it happens, right, you get someone exactly what they're asking for, you find the unicorn, you're like, oh my God, that's really a unicorn. Like, it really is. Like, we really did that, right? For some reason, they may find a reason to say no. That unicorn is it has a horn on its head, and because of the horn on its head, I'm gonna have to pass. I don't want it anymore, right? If that happens, what you have to understand is now we're possibly moving further away from that criteria. Now we're going to be prioritizing the price range. So if that's what you're wanting and what you're comfortable with, absolutely no problem. You have nothing to worry about. We just have to figure out what you want and what makes sense to you. Really quickly, I did want to go ahead and say thank you guys for the feedback. I really appreciate it. I had a few of you guys who asked me to get on YouTube and get on Spotify and do my podcast that way. And those are brilliant ideas, guys. Chef's kiss, mwah. Thank you for that, because I'm definitely going to be looking into this. I really want to make sure that I am catering to you guys and giving you what you want, what you need, and also making sure that you guys know that you are heard. Not just making sure that you feel heard, but letting you know that you genuinely are heard and appreciated. So that's going to conclude this episode of Real Talk with your host, Kristen Victorian. As per usual, if you guys want to reach out to me with comments, you want to say, hey, this was great. Hey, you can do this differently. Hey, I think you should try this or try that. I am always open to you guys' suggestions. So again, thank you so much. And until next time, have a wonderful day.